Alright guys, so today we're going to be doing this video of another estranged parent from a YouTube channel called Beverly Stern, assuming that's her name, probably is, called Message to Estranged Children. So I've been doing these estranged parent videos. Let me know if you guys like them, by the way. I just thought it'd be something interesting. I thought it'd be something new to do. So we're going to check out this video. We're going to hear what she has to say. I'm going to break it down and give you my thoughts on it. So let's continue. Let's begin.
Hi. I'm reading this for all the estranged mothers out there who are feeling the pain and the hurt every day from their estranged sons or daughters. And I'm appealing to all you estranged children out there. Stop and think for just one moment. What did your parents do knowingly and willingly to hurt you as you grew up?
Doesn't matter if they did anything knowingly. It doesn't matter if it was knowingly or willingly. It's the fact that they've done something to hurt them. That's why they went no contact. Knowingly or willingly, that's neither here nor there. It's the fact that a lot of these children, they go no contact with their parents because they refuse to admit what they've done, or that they've done harm at all.
If they made any errors, perhaps it's time now to forgive.
What about forgiveness on the parent's side? What about, has the parent tried to look inward and figure out the reasons as to why they're estranged from their children, or do they just believe that they haven't done anything wrong and believe the child's at fault? You know, this mending a relationship, it's a two-way street. Okay, there has to be, fault admitted on both sides. Both sides have to admit that they've done things. Both sides have to figure out what they've done, what they could have done better, and how they can fix and mend the relationship. It's not just he did this or he did that. It's more complicated than that. Nobody has to forgive anything. Nobody has to forgive anybody. Some things are unforgivable.
You, as a grown adult now, has choices.
Doesn't matter if they're a grown adult. Doesn't change the fact that what was done to them has been done. What's done is done. And especially if that parent refuses to admit fault or wrongdoing or apologize, they don't have to forgive anybody. They don't have to forgive them, I should say.
Even if you have a husband or a wife who is not that enamored of your mother or father, it's time for you to realize that as a husband or wife, you don't have to choose between your wife or your mother or father.
Maybe the wife sees something that the husband doesn't see, or vice versa. Or maybe they both decided to just go no contact with you because they're a toxic person. Just because they can be in contact with you doesn't mean they want to be. You think grown adults don't know that they don't have to live without being in contact with you? Of course they know. They don't want to be in contact with you. That's why I had no contact.
Or your husband and your mother or father. You can have both.
But they don't want to have both. That's why there's no contact.
Can love and care about both.
They don't want to love and care about both. If they did, there wouldn't be no contact.
And you don't have to feel guilty.
They don't feel guilty. Most likely not. Maybe some of them. But most people who go no contact don't really feel guilt. They do it out of necessity. The ones that feel guilty feel like, sure, some of them feel like it's their fault in a way. Maybe they could have done more to mend the relationship. But I assure you, if you have a narcissistic parent, there's nothing you could have done. They only get worse with age, guys. Trust me on this. Trust me. My mother has only gotten worse with age. My father has only gotten worse with age. They do not get better with age. With time, they get worse. Their behavior gets worse. Their narcissism gets worse. Their overall attitude gets worse. Their bitterness gets worse. They get harder to deal with. It doesn't get better.
No, not at all. You just have to know that the way you love your husband or wife is entirely different than the way you will love your mother or father. And you can love both just differently. So if you have a husband or a wife who don't understand this, then sit down and talk to them about it. Tell them you don't want to make a choice between them. And it isn't necessary to...
Again, if they didn't want to make a choice, then they wouldn't make no contact. They don't want to be in contact with them.
Make a choice. And particularly if there are grandchildren involved. Let's think about this.
Here we are. Narcissistic parents love grandchildren. I'm going to tell you why. The reason why they love grandchildren is because children are innocent. Their minds are fresh. Children absorb everything around them, whether it's true or false. Narcissistic parents love grandchildren because they're easy to manipulate. They love children in general because they're easily manipulated. They're easy to mold them into the person that they want them to be. If you have a narcissistic parent and you have kids, and they're trying, she's trying to, or she or he's trying to get into contact with you, trying to reach out so they can see the grandkids, guys, don't do it. It is your duty to keep those grandkids away from them. It is your duty. They will corrupt the minds of those kids. They will brainwash the kid. They will manipulate those kids against you. I'm telling you this. This is why narcissists love children. My mom used to tell me, I want this person back. She would point to a picture frame of when I was little in the house. Sometimes when we were talking, she wants that person back. The reason she said that, the reason why she wanted me to be a kid again, because kids have no say, kids have no power. When you're a kid, you're still forming your own opinions about things. You're still forming your own ideas about the world. You're still easily manipulated, easily controlled. Your parents have all the power over you legally. This is why she wants access to the grandchildren.
Who are you really hurting by not allowing your children to have a relationship with their grandparents?
It's not about hurting anybody. It's about keeping children away from toxic individuals, from bad people. It's not about deliberately hurting anybody. It's about not having the kids being hurt by bad people. It's about keeping the kids away from bad people who could potentially hurt them.
You might think it's vindictive because you're angry at your mother or father. But just stop and think for a minute, really. Do you have any idea how important a grandmother or grandfather is to the life of a child? There's no substitute. A grandmother or a grandfather's love for their grandchildren exceeds anything you'll ever know. We have influences. We have wonderful gifts to give to these children.
No, you don't. You're looking to manipulate the children.
So please, please think about how you're hurting your children in the long run. And
The
even
children need to understand that what they're dealing with is a toxic, potentially dangerous individual. Children need to understand that it has nothing to do with the fact that they want to hurt, the parents want to hurt anybody, or they want to hurt the grandmother or the grandfather. It's the fact that these people are dangerous to be around. They're manipulative. They're not good people. The children will understand that in time. It's up to the parents whether or not they want to keep the children away from the grandparents or not. In my opinion, if you have a narcissistic mother, father, and you have kids, I would highly recommend you don't bring them anywhere near your parents, that narcissistic person in your life.
if you choose to not have a relationship with your mother or father, please don't keep your children from their grandparents. The love is just too deep and too strong. And one more thing, please. As estranged children, think about your parents' lives when you were young and growing up. If you have something in your life that caused you pain as a child or as an adolescent or even as a young adult now, cut your parents some slack.
No, they don't deserve slack. They need to own up and admit to their mistakes. But they won't do that, hence why there's no contact with them to begin with. They need to own up to their mistakes. You don't always get to, you don't always get that. You don't get that privilege. You don't get to just have some slack cut. They don't owe you anything.
They did the best they could.
Yes, we've heard that so many times. They did the best they could. Well, clearly not. They don't want anything to do with them. These estranged parents never look inward, guys. They never think. They can't. They're incapable of looking inward, thinking in searching for what, trying to figure out any wrongdoing on their part. They don't believe they've done anything wrongdoing. Or I believe they don't believe that it's bad, I should say. They don't believe there's anything wrongdoing with what they've done.
With what they knew how. They didn't intentionally set out to hurt you.
How do you know they didn't intentionally set out to hurt anybody? How do you know?
If they made some mistakes, think about your life now. Do you not make mistakes?
Doesn't matter what their life is like now. Mistakes are one thing. Choices are another thing. And they made choices. Once you do something multiple times, it's not a mistake anymore. It's a choice.
We all make mistakes. And we all need to be forgiven for those mistakes. So please, think about your life. It's way too short to hold grudges and keep that pain inside you. We need to communicate. We need to open up our arms and wrap them around each other. We need to say we're sorry. We need to say as parents, we didn't know any better. If we knew better, we would do better.
They don't need to do any of that. You're an adult raising children. You should know better. That's no excuse. You should know better. This whole we didn't know any better, if we knew better, we would do better is BS. You guys know exactly what you've done.
And get on with our lives. You don't know how.
You need to get on with your lives. All of you estranged parents need to get on with your lives. You need to stop trying to contact your children that are no contact with you, and you need to get on with your lives. That's exactly right.
How long your parents have, and you don't know how long you have. Life is just
Right. Life is just like that. It's precious. It's short. That's why they want nothing to do with toxic individuals, toxic, estranged parents who have done nothing but bring negativity, toxicity in their life, and drama.
that tenuous. So try to reach out today. Try to think about it. If
They don't want to reach out. That's the whole point of no contact.
you're stuck in a place where you can't move forward, think about therapy. Think about calling your mom or your dad and saying, I've had this pain too long. And I know you've had it too. And I know what I have done to hurt you. So
What about what the parents have done to hurt them? No. This is gaslighting. This is gaslighting. The parents are harming the children. The children are responding with no contact.
why don't we sit down together and we talk? And if you want to accuse me of anything you want to accuse me of that happened in the past, go right ahead. I have big shoulders, and I will accept that I made mistakes.
Not mistakes, choices. These narcissistic parents, these narcissistic strange parents want you to point out everything. They're going to ask, trust me, I've been through this with my parents, with my mom. They want you to bring up the past. They want you to point out the days and the times and the events of what happened so they can turn around and gaslight every single one of them. Tell you why it didn't happen, or it didn't happen that way, or that didn't happen on that day, or that hour, or didn't happen like that. They want you to point out specific events so they can gaslight you about them. It's a merry-go-round with these narcissistic parents. They just want to keep you in the cycle of abuse and gaslighting.
And we can move on and get past this. We only have one life, friends. And it's
Yes, we only have one life, friends. So don't spend it with toxic individuals, please. Stay no contact. Go live your life. And leave these negative, toxic narcissists in the dust where they belong. That's the end of this video, guys. Let me know if you liked it. Comment down below. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't. We're almost at 5,000 subscribers, so I really appreciate every single one of you who come into my videos and watch them. And until next time, guys, deconstructing narcissism. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.